Good morning to everyone. So in the previous session, we have studied about what is the differences between the C language and Java and C++ and Java, and we have the slide and information on the what is the differences between. So in this session, now we are going to study about the application programming interface, that we call it as the APIs. So this is a very important thing. So when you go to any organization or if you want to work on the applications, the APIs are very important thing. So what else now we are going to be studying? So what is the basic thing? What is a application programming interface? What is the meaning of API? And how the Java APIs are going to be work? And how when you are working on the other applications, how the application programming interface is going to be work? So and not only that, and what are the commonly used packages that are using the APIs? How the Java is going to be taken some of the APIs? So having now, so there is about the APIs, Java API, there is application programming interface. So basically we need, so what is API? So there is a major question. So there is what is application programming interface? So application programming interface is a part of JDK, that is a Java development kit. So provides the tools for developers for building a strong application efficiently. So based on two major steps, the API is going to be built the strong application. So one is, we call it as a core API, and another one is third party API. So what is this core API? So the core API covers the essential functionalities like the data structures and file handling and networking and concurrence. So these and all the functionalities the core API is going to be covered. So when you go to the third party APIs, so the libraries are created by the external developers. So for the specialized task, so for example, how the specialized task of we can take the database access, web development, and not only that, when you take the machine learning. So for these specialized tasks, the APIs in two steps it is going to be performed. One is a core API, it is going to be cover the data structures, like some of the APIs. So it is going to be build the strong application. So how the Java API works here how the Java API is going to be work. So when you take how the Java API is going to be work, it is going to be work on the three steps. So the major three steps it is going to be work, and the major step is, one is a integration part, and the second part is a interaction, and third is execution. So what is this interaction or the interrogating, and third one is execution. So integration. So when you take about the major first level, integration. So developers, or the Java developers, or the Python developers, or the C developers, they used to import the API packages into their code. After importing their code by using the import statements, this is about the integration. So how the Java developers import API packages into their code using the import statements. And when you have the second step, that is the interaction part. So they call API methods for performing the specific tasks. So what are the specific tasks? We can take the interaction part, so reading the file, okay, or file handling. So file handling we can take, or not in that, sending an HTTP request. We may know how the sending of the HTTP request, most of the people. So not only that, when you take the major third level, that is execution. So when you take the third part, that is the execution part, so the APIs interact with the external underlying systems or external services to execute an executive requests. So you can take for example how the Java API is going to be work. So if you take, so if you or I may building the cloud-based application, so then you or I may use the API to connect the Azure services. So to connect with the Azure services or integrating the AI frameworks, so like the Wake for the machine learning. So there is a real-time example. So there's a real-time example. So whether you are going to be built a cloud-based application, you have to use the API to connect with the Azure or the AWS service or the Amazon or the GCP cloud. So then you are going to be use the APIs so to connect with the services. So now we are using the Azure service for this example. So not only that, so in other applications, so not only Java application, in other application, how the API is going to be work. So an application programming interface acts as an intermediator between your application and services. So like take for example a REST API. So a REST API uses the HTTP methods like the put, post, delete or the get, so to interact with their resources. Not only that, so the same thing, if I am working on the Java application, so I may use for the JDBC. So what is this JDBC? Java database connectivity. So I will use the JDBC, Java database connectivity allows my application to connect with the database. So think that how it is going to be run means, so if there is a one user, think that I am a user, so I am typing, so I need the one image of the Java. So if I type I need the one Java image, so actually the request is going to be API. Again the API gives one request to the database, so the data will pick up from the database and it's come to the API. From the API the data will get to the user. So there is a small process for the knowing purpose. So basically why API is going to be used, there is a major question you may get. So basically the application programming interface is going to be used for integrating the cloud services or the AI frameworks and the machine learning, and these are all the things the API is going to be used. So when you take in Java, so mostly commonly used packages or we will take. So basically before that, the APIs or the application programming language have the several hundreds of classes and methods or grouped together to form function. We call it as a package. That package we call it as a application programming interface. We call it as that package API. We named as a API. So what are all the mostly commonly used packages in Java? So if you take, so one is a language support package. And second one networking package, and input output package, And basically another one is very important thing that we call it as AWT, that is abstract window tool. It is a very important thing here. And not only that, and applet package. So these are the commonly used in the Java applications, that's the API. Not only that, when you are working on the mostly huge organizations, the APIs, so integrating the APIs with the DSC, that is a data structures algorithm, is a very important part. These plays the very important role. So if you like this video, make sure one like and subscribe.